Welcome to A Seeking Heart with Alyssa and Gingras, distributed through Breadbox Media. I am joined tonight by my very, very good friend, Alyssa Bormes. Alyssa, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. It's so wonderful to be here.
Well, I'm excited to talk about the book project, the children's book project
Mm.
that you were really a catalyst behind for Wine Women in the New Evangelization. The sweet name of this book is The Mother of Jesus is Wonderfully Real.
Mm.
And it is written by Father Paul Murray, OP. And you, of course, did the foreword, which tells like the backstory to
Uh-huh.
this incredible book, which I'm going to, of course, ask you to share in just a minute. And I know I'm not going to get this sweet woman's name correct, but
I
it's
know.
illustrated by Bernadette.
Galkowski.
I won't even try. Look at it's wonderful when you do it with the video and it's live. I can just point, and Alyssa knows me well enough to fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Bernadette Gakowski.
Galkowski.
Nice. So I have lots of questions for you. First of all, I know that this story is super near and dear to your heart, and it kind of started with a really tough day for your adorable niece. Tell us about that.
Yeah, my niece was at a little day camp, a secular day camp before school started. She was 6 years old and just about ready to go into first grade. And she was very excited that day to wear a little necklace of Mary. And I don't know exactly how this came to be, but when she got to the camp at some point, the girls saw her necklace, and I'm sure she was proud of it and showing them as well. And the girls started chanting that Mary isn't real. And it crushed her, right? Sometimes, oh, kids can be mean. And so it crushed her. And when my sister picked her up, she just couldn't say anything to comfort her, right? So my sister called me and said, "Do you have anything to say? She's just crying and she thinks Mary isn't real." And oh, sure I do, you know. And so they came over to my house. It was an August afternoon, and I had nothing to say. She just wouldn't hear anything I had to say. Nothing comforted her. And it just happened that I had my dear friend, Father Paul Murray. I had his book on the Hail Mary. It just come out. This is 2010. It had just come out, and I held the book up and I said, "Do you remember Father Murray?" Because she had met him earlier that summer. We went out to dinner together, and she said yes. And I said, "Well, this is his book about Mary, and he wouldn't write about Mary if Mary weren't real." And I said, "Do you want to write him a letter?" Yes, right. So she writes him
I
a
love
letter.
that.
Isn't that cool? And that
I
just made sense to her.
I love how God just like orchestrates life, right? Like people
Mm,
can say, "Oh, what a neat coincidence." No, like when you see the light, the world through the eyes of God, everything
mm,
from I love the word Godsidence.
mm.
Everything is God's. It's God orchestrated. It's
Yeah.
just God beautiful. So she knows this priest. You know, your sister's wise enough to bring her to you.
Yeah.
Like the Holy Spirit's like, go to Alyssa.
Yeah. Right. But not because, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm sure I have something really marvelous to say to. No, it wasn't me. And, and she had only met him once, but there was something, she just sort of uh, taken with him or something. He just
Yeah.
has that personality. He's funny and just, he was so delightful. And we had the best time. So the next, so she writes him a letter, and then we receive this letter back from him, and it's extraordinary. And I first went to read it to her and her mom, and Isabel just kept snuggling closer and closer to me, and almost like, I mean, she was on top of me. Let's just face it, she was just on top, closer and closer as I read it. And then at the end, there was this silence, and I said, I finally broke the silence and said, "What was your favorite part?" And she touched the letter right where it said where it said this, when she said, "He called me one of the blessed." Ah, right. And wound healed. Then of course her mom loved it, and then a few days later, my mother and my sisters and my right, our mom was in town, our brother John, and my stepfather Jim, and I read the letter to them. And John had a tear in his eye, and Jim was a little more choked up. He's a crier. And my mom spoke for everybody when she said, "I wish we had that letter when you were kids." And between
Oh,
my mother and Jim, there's 17 kids, right? That's a lot of kids.
wow.
I know. I have a lot. When people ask how many siblings I have, like, do you have time?
I
I'll
have a
send you.
gaggle.
Yeah.
You officially have a gaggle of siblings.
Yes, yes, we're a gaggle. And so anyway, I just knew it was
Wow.
to be a book. And I kept asking Father Murray, no, 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 no. But really, this was all God's timing. It took him 9 years to say yes, but it was God's
Wow.
timing because the artist that we found, Bernadette Galkowski, I won't make you say her name. Uh,
I appreciate that.
yeah, it's okay. It took me a while as well, and then to spell it, oh, it's even worse. But
That's funny.
she had set down her paints and finally picked them up again.
No
So
way. I
yes,
didn't know that part of the story, and I
yes,
work
she
for
said that.
one. I thought I knew it all. I guess I
A
don't.
little secret there. And so one night it was now I'd gotten permission in I think October to write the book or to make it into a book, and I can't find an artist. I just thought it was easy that you just think something, and then any artist that walks up, they'll be able to do what you're thinking. And it
Right.
turns out, yeah, flies. It turns out that that's not how it works. An artist can't see your brain. It's weird. So it was
Well, that kind of reminds me, just to put it for just a second. Yes, there is a fly around me, and it's making me insane. Um, this that Faustina, Saint Faustina, when she was trying to have the image of Jesus
yeah.
painted, like she discovered that same mystery, Alyssa, that it was in her head, and they tried a couple of artists. And
Mhm,
I mean, obviously, you're trying to paint Jesus, who is just beyond,
mhm,
beyond. And so it's really hard to put that beauty down
mhm.
on paper. But I think that that idea that if you think it, and this person has that talent, that they can make it come to life. But
Right.
it's not an easy find. But you did
No,
end up
I
eventually doing it
found
because
her.
the Holy Spirit is amazing.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit. And Jesus had a good laugh at this because it was a Saturday night in January. And I have a wild, extraordinary life. So I was sitting at home cleaning my desk, right? And, and
You live on the edge.
I just live in, yeah, I probably had coffee. No, it was a night. I probably had, water or something to drink, something really exciting. And maybe a bowl of M&Ms or something. Who knows? I don't think I did. But anyway, I
That's funny.
stopped everything and I was just cleaning. All of a sudden I thought, all right, I don't know how I'm going to find this artist. That thought just came through my head. So I stopped and I prayed and I said, Jesus, you know that this letter needs to be a book. You know that, and I got permission. I don't know how to find the artist. You know exactly what's in my head. You need
Yeah.
to find the artist. You need to make it abundantly clear to me and plop it right in my lap. Amen. That was
Good
done.
prayer.
Done talking to him. I gave him the stern tone. And then the next thing I was doing on my desk is I had a stack of 4 business cards that I just need to put the information in my computer and then I could toss the cards or something, right? And so the second or third card is this watercolor of Therese of Lisieux as a little girl. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is the artist.
Wow.
And I went on her website and I start fangirling all over her website. I looked at every page 50 times. And the thing that I loved the best that she did was children and Mary.
Mm.
And she does other beautiful things too, but those were my favorites. And I thought, this is what my mind looks like. This is it. So I got a hold of her, and the long and short of it is that uh, she is the artist. And I think the great joy in that is Jesus let me talk to him sternly. And then he was laughing, thinking, are you kidding? You've had your card. I had her card 1 week before Father, actually, it's 10 days, I think, before
Wow.
Father gave me permission. I hadn't met her. I'd met her mother-in-law and I think a sister or something or whatever. But I had her art and her card. I'd already seen it. And
So For those watching us on the video on YouTube or Facebook, can you show us the cover of this? So the whole book is done in watercolors. There's sweet
Yeah.
Isabel with her
Give you an
beautiful
idea how
necklace.
big it is. Yeah. Yeah,
It
that's
is.
my niece. These paintings are so beautiful. And this was the first painting she did. And we just thought, no, that's the cover. That's the cover. And the art is extraordinary. I mean, I'll just start the book by right here saying, first you see Isabel's letter, but I'm just getting to Father's letter. Here he is mailing the letter, and it's so perfect. This
Yes.
Anybody who knows him knows that's him, right? In this
And
painting.
it's a child book size. Like it is, I
Yeah.
used to be a preschool teacher. You'd pull out your what
Mhm.
14 by 16 hardcover children's book with the
Yes.
big giant. I love there's a couple of them where the image when you open the book is from page to page. It scans
Yes.
the whole thing. Um, and it's just
I
it's
love
magnificent.
this
And
one. I don't
we
know.
have little Isabel walking and with her little umbrella
In the
and
rain.
telling the story of how so Father Murray explains to Isabel that all the different ways that Mary is real. One of my favorite is Mary is as real as apple pie and pink flamingos. I want that like in a t-shirt.
Yeah, I know that I have young women who have said, get that made in a t-shirt. So here's the apple pie and pink flamingo, right? But here is Mary hearing that she's like she's as real as apple pie and pink flamingos.
And she's laughing with her head thrown back and her mouth wide open and just so beautifully. Is that not a depiction of Mary that you usually see of
No,
Mary laughing?
I've never,
But of
I
course,
can't
she's
see.
filled with joy. Like she is the epitome of joy. And that image of her
Yeah.
in watercolors in this beautiful book, The Mother of Jesus is Wonderfully Real. It's available from Wine, Women in the New Evangelization, CatholicVineyard.com. It's exquisite.
Look at this. Now,
How
when you
it
say
all came
exquisite,
together.
look at this, Mary. We just have
Oh,
this historical Mary, and there's the
so
images are
that
so
Mary.
beautiful, and the words are so beautiful.
So I just want to explain for those who are just listening on the podcast. That Mary, she is kneeling. She's got a basket with grain, and she's going through the grain with her mantle, not her blue mantle though, like in her working mantle. It's kind of a
Yeah, sort
brownish.
of grayish. Yeah. Yeah, her working mantle. I love that.
I mean, come on, we have to have. There's no way that she's a woman. She had to have at least one change of outfit, right? Her
Yes.
like at home
Right.
mantle and her
Yeah.
going out pretty blue mantle.
Right. The one page I loved, I mean, there's so many things I love, but one of the things is we have a page where it has 6 different apparitions of Mary.
Oh,
And
I love
because he
that.
speaks about this sometimes, but very rarely, Mary likes to appear to some people here on earth and even to very young people. And when she does, the color of her clothes that she wears is often the color blue. And so I'll just show you this quickly. Okay, so there's a part of them. And then I got this is so funny to do this. All right, there you go. But one of the reasons we did this, so we have Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of La Vang, which is in Vietnam, Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Knock, and Our Lady of Cabejo in Africa. And when she appears, she often appears to look like what the people of that area look like. So we love this page
Mm.
because no matter who you are, she looks like your mother, right?
Oh, I love that.
No, I know. And that actually was I don't think she knows that she's an inspiration for this, but Valimar, she was talking about her understanding of Mary. She's a convert and her understanding of Mary. And then she realized why Mary looks different in different places because she looks like your mother. She's the mother to
Mm.
all of us, so she can look like anyone. And so I love that page. And but he uses the simplest words to explain the most complex things. And I'm going to just give you one endorsement. There's 2 endorsements I want to give you today.
Oh,
One
please.
endorsement is this. This gorgeously illustrated and splendidly written book will be helpful to any young person struggling to understand spiritual truths. Get it for your child, your grandchild, your godson or goddaughter. And when you finish reading it to him or her, savor it for yourself. And that's exactly it. That it's so simple that it is directly written to this little heart of a young girl, but it'd be good for a young boy as well. And then so profound that you can ponder it yourself. This was Bishop Robert Barron. So not bad, right? That's pretty
Yeah, that's a pretty good, solid endorsement. When Bishop Barron
right.
tells you to savor a children's book for
Yeah.
yourself, you know it's a pretty good children's
It's
book.
it's a good one. And
It
then
is a good one.
there's other endorsements here, including Lisa Hendy, Liz Lev, Mother Assumpta, and but there's one that I'm really nuts for. It came in later. It came in after the book was published. It was a couple weeks after the book came out. We got an endorsement from Michelle from Texas, and
Oh, yes.
and she said that she was reading the book aloud to her 3.5-year-old granddaughter, and her daughter-in-law isn't Catholic and thinks we're a little weird about Mary, but her daughter-in-law was listening in, and she said at the end of the book she had a couple questions, and then she said, "I get it. I understand Mary now."
Wow.
Oh, wait, there's more. And then she
Well,
said to Michelle in Texas, she said, "Will you teach me the rosary?"
wow. That's
Mhm.
the best endorsement ever. I
I
mean, a
know.
bishop can say something is he
Yeah.
wants about it, but when you actually see the book changing people's
The
hearts and
hearts.
bringing them to the rosary that
Yeah.
aren't even Catholic, that's pretty
I
amazing.
know. I know.
What?
Honestly, that was the one of the first things we ever heard back from a reader. And I just so this book is that kind of book, and we made it a hardcover because we knew it's that kind of a book. It has the beautiful dust jacket, which So here you can see that it has a dust jacket. Um, there's something about a book that has it's hardcover and has a dust jacket, and this is the kind of book that you want to give away.
Yeah.
It's a gift book. It's great for any kid. And then we even did this in the middle. You can't really see it there, but it says this book belongs to Given with Love by and the date. So it has what do they call it? Not a crest,
Like
but anyway, you know what I mean.
a dedication
A
page.
dedication. Thank you.
I love that. Yes.
And because this is the kind of book you want to give as a gift, and it's in my
And
eyes,
it's
it's
good
already
for like any gift. Like I think it makes a perfect
yeah.
baby shower gift.
Yes.
It makes a perfect first communion gift. I think it even makes a pretty sweet confirmation gift.
Okay, here's what I'm telling you. My kids at school, because I have tried this out on them 100 times. Well, maybe not. Anyway, but the girls, especially the older girls, love this book. They would be thrilled to receive this book as a gift. The older boys like it too, but I think younger boys, but I
Yeah.
think a girl of any age. And but yeah, new baby, sacramental, birthdays, Christmas, anything.
Yeah, the new baby coming. And by the way, Alyssa teaches high school.
Oh
So
yeah,
when she's talking about her students, she's
yeah,
talking about 13, 14, 15,
yeah,
16-year-old
yeah. They
young
love it.
ladies.
They
Yeah.
love it. And the art, they all, everybody gushes about the art. Like, and we wanted it to be beautiful, not cute. And it is beautiful. And I think it's a classic. And I
There's
I just don't
another
want to take on its own life after me, right?
Yeah, a couple other things I thought of doing with the book is donating it to your
Mm,
parish religious education program, so it can be read to the first communion kids, or
mhm,
um, donating it to your local library.
mm,
Like,
mhm,
this book needs to be in the library. It needs to be where kids can be going through the shelf and
mhm.
learning about all kinds of things, including that the mother of Jesus is wonderfully
It's
real.
wonderfully real.
And I think donating it to your school library, to your public library, to your parish
Mhm,
program, religious ed, faith formation program. I think these are all beautiful places. I don't think sometimes we think of like wanting to do something for the church or the school. We don't really think about donating a book to the
mhm.
library. So buy one for yourself, for your godchildren, and for your school.
Yeah, amen. And I have done that. I've donated to my parish library and my parish grade school, and they love it, and the kids are eating it up. And then we've even had a teacher who did all of her Catholic Schools Week things on this. She used this book as the basis of everything she did with. I want to say she teaches second grade, but whatever grade, little kids.
Yeah, it was
She
second
did
and third grade.
everything. Yeah.
I will put that link in the show notes to it
Yeah.
over so you everyone can check it out because it was really cute the way
Mhm.
she did it. I really appreciated that. So, Alyssa, just one more question for you. Why is it really important for children to hear this
Mm.
message? So we can tell kids, well, Mary is real, but the way that Father Murray frames it, why is it important that we get this into the hands, into the ears, into the hearts of children?
I think one of the things that we have with adults and kids, kids of all ages, is this idea of all of this happened in a bubble, or
Mm,
it happened as I think I've stolen this from Jeff Cavins and Father Mike Schmitz. They're sort of both. They say it didn't just happen a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That it
mhm.
really took place. Jesus really came to us. His mother really is Mary, and she is wonderfully real. And that we're always wanting to know how we belong, right? What's my story and why am I here, right? And to have this, the mother of Jesus is wonderfully real. And then I just think of Isabel as I was reading it to her, and that her reaction of, I'm one of the blessed. He called me one of the blessed. That every child needs to have that reaction. You are one of the blessed. And
Yeah,
we
it's
have
beautiful.
one of the things that we've done as well is kids have begun to color. There's a particular Mary who has her hand out, and someone gave us the idea to, what gift can I give Mary, or put your own little hand in there, because she is our mother, and we really want little ones, but everyone, to know Mary is wonderfully real, and she's your mother, and that she
It's
loves you
beautiful.
so dearly, and we can't teach that enough. And there might need to be in your life, in our lives. I'm sure we have 5 million times we need to hear this message. So this is one
Yes.
vehicle, one really beautiful, piercingly beautiful words and art to say, Mary is your mother,
I
right?
love that. Our parish just is doing a novena, 7 Sunday novena to Saint Joseph, and this week we learned that they had to go to Nazareth because it had to be recorded in the census that Jesus of Nazareth was a real person and that his
Yeah,
parents were Mary
yeah,
and Joseph. And it's part of history. It is scribed in the books of history,
yeah,
recorded for all to see that
that's cool.
Jesus and Mary were both, and Joseph too, were
And Joe,
both all very wonderfully real people who were counted in a census at one time. So I never thought of that ever before until this young deacon, soon to be a priest, mentioned it. And it was kind of like that jaw drop moment. And as you're talking about Mary being wonderfully real, I thought, she's in a census. She really did exist.
yeah,
We can go historically and go, look, Mary was in Nazareth right
great.
here. I'm in Bethlehem. So
Bethlehem
She
is
had to
good.
go to Bethlehem.
Mhm.
So it recorded that Mary Jesus of Nazareth was
Yes,
wonderful real. Everybody knows
I
where
know what you mean.
Uganda. Those places that just get me confused. All right, where can we purchase and get a copy of this beautiful book?
CatholicVineyard.com. CatholicVineyard.com. And because Kelly Walquist, who founded Wine, Women in the New Evangelization, that's our website, CatholicVineyard.com, because she hates shopping. So she did something extra, that you get a gift card that either has one of the paintings from in here with a little girl, or there's another one with a little boy. There's some really cool ones in here because their father talking to his father when he was little. He tells
Mm.
Isabel about having a conversation with his father. That's where it starts. And so you can get a gift card with either Isabel and Mary or Father Murray and his own father. And so a card for a boy or a card for a girl. So CatholicVineyard.com, get the gift card. You can pick out which one you want. And it's just so extraordinary. The Mother of Jesus is wonderfully real. Again, endorsed by Bishop Barron and Michelle from Texas.
Well, it is amazing. All of the links will be in the show notes. I've been talking today with Alyssa Bormes, who wrote the foreword, who actually had the foreword.
Yeah,
um,
I orchestrated this thing,
as,
I was on it like a dog on a bone, I knew that it had to be a book and it had to go to the whole world. And I think of my mother, whose birthday is today, by the way. She would have been 89 today. She was the one who said, I wish we would have had that letter when you were kids. And really, that her wish, even though I wanted to do it, I knew immediately when I got it, it has to be a book. But her wish just forced me into it, just I couldn't say no to my own mom. And I knew that Father Murray couldn't say no to her either. I know eventually I'll win this argument. So
well,
really an argument.
I'm so glad you did, and I'm so glad that God's providential care found you. Bernadette,
Galkowski,
we're such a good
amazing
team.
artist.
Oh my goodness, so
Amazing.
talented. And the
Yep.
cards were beautiful. And again, those are all on the Catholic Vineyard site. You can see all the cards. It's real easy to figure out how you get which one.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Alyssa, for
Thanks.
spending this time with us.
God bless you.
You too. You have been listening to A Seeking Heart with Alyssa Gingras, distributed through Breadbox Media. God bless.